let's introduce Dr. Priyantha. So, Doctor, you just want to give a quick.
All right. Make it short. I'm in, my background is energy engineering and renewable energy engineering.
Hi guys, so my name is Salih, and like I'm mainly based in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Like I've known Imran throughout the years, and we've briefly worked on a few local projects here while he was working with the local government. Um, like a little background about me, like I have like 8 years of work experience working on like apps and then sort of like digital transformation services, and I hope to be and I hope to work well with the team and basically support Save Planet Earth like in all of their like digital aspects.
I'm sure people know who I am. Founder of SavePlanetEarth, and currently I'm sitting in the Maldives, where I felt it was imperative for me to travel here to have some meetings with the relevant government organizations and also with NGOs. So right now I'm just in quarantine, and I'm getting cabin fever. And I'm just itching to just get out there and just meet the relevant departments and just get the show on the road. So yeah, so Aaron, if you've got any questions for us, please shoot.
Sure. Yeah. So, I guess we should start with the meetings that are lined up. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, I'm in quarantine at the moment, but I've been having a lot of phone calls and soft conversations with relevant departments such as the President's Office. I've got some meetings lined up there with the council over there and the undersecretaries, and also with the President himself. So I'm just waiting just to get out of this quarantine period. And also I've got meetings set up with UNICEF, with the United Nations Development Programme, also with MITDC, which is the Maldives Integrated Tourism Development Corporation. And we've already sent donation to them for 1,000 trees. They will be working with Housing Development Corporation to plant on an island which has been just reclaimed. So they just reclaimed that for residential purposes and business purposes. So right now it's just complete sand and foundations are there. They're just building the roads. So thanks to Save Planet Earth, they'll have at least 1,000 trees there, if not more, because there are a lot of plans in the pipeline for that. Also, I've been speaking to other NGOs like ARC, and ARC we're working with Save Planet Earth and UNICEF for like a tri-party planting program, and then we had those issues with UNICEF, which I will be resolving. So hopefully that will go ahead. And again, we have sent money for this program too. So I'll be getting the pledge letters for that as well.
Perfect.
And also many official photographs, social media. So I'll be pushing for all of that. And it was agreed that that will happen. There are meetings with Save the Beach, which is another like-minded NGO. And we've got plenty of good news coming soon, because the project that I'm planning here is around 1 million trees.
Yeah.
Which will that's just one project.
Right.
And Dr. Priyantha and Sally will tell you about other projects that we've got going on,
Yeah.
and that we're negotiating terms with. So this 1 million trees will span the whole country, top to bottom.
That's awesome.
There's around 200 inhabited islands here.
Hmm.
Population ranges from 500 people on one island all the way up to 50,000 on some islands. Capital is just an urban concrete jungle.
Right.
So we want to get some urban canopy set up here as well.
Hmm.
So I'll be working with the presidential office with that. Also, there are around 200 tourist resorts here. Currently, they are like sandbanks. There's no greenery on there,
Mm.
so we want to just get some trees planted there too.
Perfect.
Uh, yeah, and then if Dr. Priyantha Osali can mention the program that we are negotiating in Sri Lanka, which is based on, I think it's 100 million trees. So Dr. Priyantha has been working on that as well. So, Doctor, do you
Yeah.
want to give a brief outline on that?
Yeah. Please do.
100 million trees is a big number, perception. Nobody has done that number in Sri Lanka before. There are tree growing movements which we have developed in the country for the last 20, 30 years. And say, them years ago, say 30 years ago, the tree cover in this country, the declared forest cover, and then you have the marginal forest, and you have the various other types of small feeder uh, forest reserves, which are leading to a major forest block or a sanctuary, if you like, was about 35% of the land cover in Sri Lanka. Now it has receded to about 19%, somewhere there, due to massive, it's a combination of factors like deforestation, willful desecration of land for profit, commercial forces, which shouldn't be there really, but with lax policies and so on and so forth, we have dwindled down to about 20. So in that, we have to look at this 100 million target from that perspective. So this, uh, we are, we being SPE, Save Planet Earth, and also being concerned citizens, global citizens, if you like, uh, speak of Sri Lanka, we cannot think of any other number than in the range of about 100 million trees. Where we are talking about 90% and still receding. It's probably some people say it's about 16% of the total forest cover now. So we have to have ambitious targets, ambitious moves. Uh, Never giving up. Just working away with all pressure groups, government, the legal sector, the legal bodies. So 100 million is a target. It's arrived at by some sort of a reason, given the percentage of actual green cover in the country, and which can actually be grown to the original amounts of about 33%, 30%, we'll be happy. And we
So
are also helping. Sorry.
I was gonna ask you if we did achieve 100 million trees, that would bring the Sri Lanka green cover back to about 33%. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, we that's exactly. We have to have our target. So we are aspiring to go back to them numbers. And
Mm.
remember, we are having some very noteworthy cover blocks in the world, declared world heritage sites, like
Right.
Singaraja rainforest cover, which is a couple of thousands of acres,
Mm-hmm.
a rainforest of its own kind. Been granted that status by UNESCO.
Mm-hmm.
Even parts of that has been, you know, vandalized and encroached into, and
Right.
so we need to. And then you have the Wilpattu, the sanctuary, which houses the famous Sri Lankan leopard and
Mm-hmm.
elephants as well. That good part of that, about 2-3% of that, has been cut into, desecrated. So yes, we are talking about going back. So this whole thing about 100 million number is not. We are not doing for the heck of it, but
Right.
we like to just declare that number and then have other people follow us and we follow them and so on and so forth. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing is for sure, this won't happen unless you have the policymakers and the big organizations behind us, and
Right.
that is the state sector driven, like the armed forces,
Mm-hmm.
the army, which were right after a war of about 12 years of civil war. 30 years it raged on. In 2010 it ended. So now the army is spearheading a large tree growing movement. It has its
Mm-hmm.
own unit, like a regiment, if you like. Then you have various private sector organizations, but there is no cohesive mm, force or
Mm-hmm.
movement which brings all of them together. So one way we can be a bit uh, more like not exactly go headlong into the process of 100 million trees, but it's a matter of our strength to organize all these groups to move towards one direction. So in
Right.
Sri Lanka, the 100 million tree growing will not be the SPE, wouldn't be going, I don't see it going to the ground and digging the, the holes up and planting them trees. Just literally, it's not that. It's
Mm-hmm.
we will be spearheading a large movement of all well-able bodies and organizations together. So we will have a leadership role in that as well. So that's what we are looking forward to doing.
Awesome. Definitely. Yeah, definitely looking forward to being a part of organizing it all and
Yeah,
getting, boots on the ground and getting those
yeah,
trees planted.
yeah, definitely. And Sally's
Yes.
been
Uh,
talking to the UNDP as well. Um,
yeah, basically, stemming off of what Dr. Priyantha said, we have old connections from 2018 that we are reconnecting with again.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the agencies in Colombo. So you have the like the UN, UNICEF, UNDP, where they have strongholds in on like the east side and then towards like the central zones.
Mm-hmm.
They also have like other partnerships with schools who are actually like actively doing like sort of like tree like planting like tree nurseries. So like that's something that we are very like passionate like about like working with school kids, start them from like a very young age, and hopefully like together with the schools and then with other local NGOs, like we plan to like branch out to
Mm-hmm.
like other parts of the island.
Perfect. I think we've covered the tree planting projects in Sri Lanka and the Maldives pretty succinctly. Um, do we have any news on projects elsewhere? I know myself. I'm working on, and I need to bring this up with you guys as well. There's a NGO in Miami, Florida, called Urban Paradise Guild, and in Miami, Miami is one of the lowest in terms of sea level elevation cities in the U.S. and also one of the most populous. So they have a mass tree planting project for mangroves and other native tree species. So I'm working on contacting and organizing stuff with them that I will of course loop everyone into in the future.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that sounds good. And those are the kind of projects that we want to do,
Mhm,
uh, especially with these low-lying states and areas
mhm,
which are really susceptible for when it comes to sea level rises.
mhm.
Yeah, so brilliant. So yeah, so we look forward to doing that. So yeah,
Perfect.
brilliant. Yeah.
All right. Um,
Also, we've got. I think Sally's been talking to people in Africa.
mhm,
another
Yes.
another
So yeah.
Wonderful.
So like roughly about a week back, we actually made a connection towards like Africa, more focused on like this region in like Somalia. So this particular consultant has worked with the World Bank and then like the local like UN officers there.
Wow.
So like he is very keen to like connect with us and put forward SPE as one of those like pilot projects that we can try out. And hopefully like we'll gain some traction there as well.
Perfect. Do we have any news on the tree monitoring app and the website, the technological side of things?
Yeah, in terms of the website, I mean, we had some issues with the domain,
Right.
And now we've migrated to a .io domain,
Okay.
which we believe is more relevant in this crypto space. And this new website, work is still ongoing, but it has been published. It will also include PancakeSwap APIs and other relevant information.
Perfect.
So it wants to be a really high-tech website. And yeah, so with regards to the tree monitoring app, so Salih has been sitting with the developers, and he has designed the scope and the framework. So Salih, just want to give a quick breakdown of what sort of functionality the app has.
Yep. Yeah. So the app will be broken into like two areas. One is like in terms of like how to monitor like the tree growth. So like these will be broken down into zones, and then each of the zones will have its own like GPS coordinates. We also will have people who are into like big data, like looking at the app and then breaking it down further to see which zones are like in like a good state or in like a bad state. Like in terms of like monitoring. We'll also be like capturing like the health of the trees, soil conditions, water table sort of like levels. So the app goes fairly deep into like the whole scientific process of like how to monitor these blocks of land and trees.
Perfect.
And also we have some KML files of satellite images where we can see before and after our efforts.
Okay. Perfect. I do have a question that I've been wondering myself, and I think that if we were able to implement this, it would be great for the utility of the app as well as us being a cryptocurrency project. I was going to ask, is there a way, or how can we link the trees and maybe the GPS coordinates of the area to NFTs or non-fungible tokens? I was wondering if you could speak on that.
Yeah, that is in our roadmap actually.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so we've got that, and also in the white paper. So we're just ironing out the mechanism for that, and we do want to be able to have the amount of carbon sequestered linked to the blockchain. So the record is always there.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're just working on the mechanism for that, and just watch this space. And, we'll have something. We'll have an update too on that.
Okay, I think this last question is going to be for you, Imran. Is our exchange listing news? Anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, we've already listed on Whitebit successfully, and then we were supposed to be listed on Hotbit as well. Then they had a massive attack on the day that we were supposed to get listed, unfortunately. I mean, they have offered to give us our money back for listing and everything, but we want to just carry on with that, and hopefully they will rectify their issues,
Right.
and we'll be listed on that fairly soon.
Perfect.
I think in a week or so, or less than that even.
Mhm.
With regards to other exchanges, I've actually signed paperwork on two
Wow.
today, and
Awesome.
they are pretty decent with a good regional crowd behind
Okay.
them. So yeah, so just watch that space, and that will be next week or so too.
Awesome.
So yeah, and then obviously we've got many more things in the pipeline.
Right.
We've got merchandise, as you can see, merch as the
Yeah.
young people call it nowadays. So there will be proceeds
Imran,
from.
I was
Uh,
just going to ask you, when is the crew going to be given them? There's the sweaters type with the logo. We are all looking forward to receiving one.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Just look at the back.
That
So,
looks good. That looks good.
yeah, so the proceeds from the merch sales will go towards planting trees as well. And we try to use organic cotton and fair trade um, uh, efforts for this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's plenty more things coming up too. We're doing a lot of marketing, and we're not stopping with regards to
Mhm.
the marketing front. So yeah, so
All right.
lots coming
Perfect.
up. Yes. Anything else you like to ask?
Well, I was, I've just been doing some of my own reading and research to try and like get a better idea of the whole ecosystem of renewable energy and the carbon credits and that sort of deal. So I was wondering, do we know like the 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 flexible mechanisms as defined in like the Kyoto Protocol and the what are they called, the clean development mechanisms as well? Those seem to be the ways to get carbon credits actually certified. So um, I was going to ask, how can we implement that in our processes?
I mean, that is our ultimate goal to have the token backed by CO2 sequestered, so like CER in effect, and have it linked with the CDMs and
Hmm.
have it placed on carbon exchanges for trading.
Right.
And so large organizations and nations can purchase this to offset their emissions. So
Right.
again, we are working on the mechanism for this, and it will be. I mean, it's on the white paper, but just touched upon lightly. But we are working on a version 3 of the white paper where we will delve more deeply.
Discuss that. Okay.
And Doctor can explain a few things regarding this as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of knowledge
Yeah,
on
it's about the carbon capture. If you are in the say, let's call it a business, if you like, although we are a non-profit, but we have to have a scientific yardstick.
Hmm.
So he is right up in the alley. So it's kind of made 34 years ago since Rio de Janeiro,
Right.
1992, so it be the whole works of the how the CER became to be a scientific unit like a meter or gallon of water. So
Mm.
it's good it's there because we have a scientific basis to go by and have us measured for what we do. But there are some missing gaps. I don't want to be a critic here, but as much as the pressure it came into being
Hmm.
uh, in the industrial world, like the polluters pay and carbon savers, get the credits, that type of thing. But it's on the one side is it could have been a very powerful force
Hmm.
to also have this thing about sequestration, global warming, dissuasion of the global warming forces, and what it could have been that way, but yet the actual imposition of the legislature around the world where polluters have to pay is not enacted through the carbon credit system, which really the theme of that, the drop, the point, the, 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 the last part of the measurable aspect of the, say, the pollution is in terms of CRs, but actual carbon, the incentives, incentivizing payments made, I mentioned this before, is just a mere few dollars now. So polluters
Mhm.
don't get any pressure to stop what they're doing. Another couple of other uh, elements or parameters are also there, except for CR, which, for example, which have come out of research of my research and some of my colleagues, are things like non-renewable energy costs. In
Mhm.
other words, the cost of digging out fossil fuels and burning it off in just in 1 hour, it took millennia to form. That
Mhm.
you had a cost of that and charge it against polluters. Uh, those uh, those elements haven't come into the commercial ways of costing. So the
Right.
marketplace does not capture all the pollution activities humankind is doing.
Mhm.
Uh, I only wish the CRs is not the only parameter on which we are judged by. We can
Right.
be judged by for bringing in the non-renewability factors into the fossil fuel usage. Then you have the opportunity costs.
Mhm.
You actually impose towards the unborn by removing the limited fossil fuels and other things from the core and burning it all in just a step. It took in 200 years, entire mankind has consumed what it took, a millennia of years to form. So
Right.
that cost is not captured in the commercial marketplace or in a liter
Mhm.
of oil. So at least what we can do, what we could have done, is with the CRs. When that is also not imposed well, just paying a
Right.
mere $2-3, then basically we are off to pre Rio de Janeiro times. So this is, as I said, mentioned in another interview, it was like a soda. The cap just gone, the soda bottle open, so no more pressure, and everybody just lukewarm, just paddling in,
Mhm.
and we are not given any incentivizing measures
Right.
uh, to do this, except for our own recourse and conviction. So,
Mhm.
end of the day, I only wish the taxing systems are more strictly enacted, more better imposed, with legal force around the world, and there's a level of coherence
Mhm.
around the world of of this whole issue. It's still not there, and the United Nations and all these organizations meet a couple of years. Some city have a convention, but then nothing happens.
Right.
Then so I only wish them penalties, if you like, made more coherent and legally enforced.
Mhm. Well, I think it's something for us to work towards, definitely.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah, and we will do.
Um, but
Yeah, so
I think those are all the questions from the community, at least.
yeah, that's fine. We'll do some live AMAs on Twitch and Discord going
Mhm.
forward. It's just that with me being in the Maldives at this moment in time, and Dr. and Sally being over in Sri Lanka,
Right.
just the coordination is it's a bit difficult.
Right.
So hence
Yeah.
this is hence this AMA.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're looking forward to answering the community's questions even
Mhm.
further, and we always request them if they've got any questions, just put them towards us, and we'll do our utmost to reply to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll definitely do a live AMA soon. I think everyone would love that, and we'll get that scheduled and go from there. But
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Aaron.
It was good to meet everyone.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
It was good
All right, bye.
connecting with y'all.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay, guys. Have a good day.